I am continuing my reading. What I'm doing in this series is to read through the entire standard works of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. This consists of the Bible, the Book of Mormon, the Doctrine and Covenants, and the Pearl of Great Price. I am reading in a chronological order of events, not according to publication or volume, so I will be skipping around a bit as I move along. We are still in 2 Nephi. We are reading these Isaiah chapters. We have read 3 of them already, so we are now in chapter 15. The Lord's vineyard, Isreal, shall become desolate, and his people shall be scattered. Woes shall come upon them in their apostate and scattered state. The Lord shall lift an ensign and gather Israel. Compare Isaiah chapter 5. And then will I sing to my well-beloved a song of my beloved, touching his vineyard. My well-beloved hath a vineyard and a very fruitful hill, and he fenced it, and gathered out the stones thereof, and planted it with the choicest vine, and built a tower in the midst of it, and also made a winepress therein. And he looked that it should bring forth grapes, and it brought forth wild grapes. And now, O inhabitants of Jerusalem, and men of Judah, judge, I pray you, betwixt me and my vineyard. What could have been done more to my vineyard, that I have not done in it? Wherefore, when I looked that it should bring forth grapes, it brought forth wild grapes. And now, go to, I will tell you what I will do to my vineyard. I will take away the hedge thereof, and it shall be eaten up. And I will break down the wall thereof, and it shall be trodden down, and I will lay it waste. It shall not be pruned nor digged, but there shall come up briars and thorns. I will also command the clouds, that they rain no rain upon it. For the vineyard of the Lord of hosts is the house of Israel, and the men of Judah his pleasant plant. And he looked for judgment, and behold oppression, for righteousness, but behold a cry. Woe unto them that join house to house, till there can be no place, that they may be placed alone in the midst of the earth. In mine ears, said the Lord of hosts, of a truth many houses shall be desolate, and great and fair cities without inhabitant. Yea, 10 acres of vineyard shall yield 1 bath, and the seed of a homer shall yield an ephah. Woe unto them that rise up early in the morning, that they may follow strong drink, that continue until night, and wine inflame them. And the harp and the viol and the tabret and pipe and wine are in their feasts. But they regard not the work of the Lord, neither consider the operation of his hands. Therefore my people are gone into captivity, because they have no knowledge, and their honorable men are famished, and their multitude dried up with thirst. Therefore hell hath enlarged herself, and opened her mouth without measure. And their glory, and their multitude, and their pomp, and he that rejoiceth shall descend into it. And the mean man shall be brought down, and the mighty man shall be humbled, and the eyes of the lofty shall be humbled. But the Lord of hosts shall be exalted in judgment, and God that is holy shall be sanctified in righteousness. Then shall the lambs feed after their manner, and the waste places of the fat ones shall strangers eat. Woe unto them that draw iniquity with cords of vanity, and sin, as it were, with a cart rope, that say, let him make seed, hasten his work, that we may see it, and let the counsel of the Holy One of Israel draw nigh, and come, that we may know it. Woe unto them that call evil good, and good evil, that put darkness for light, and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet, and sweet for bitter. Woe unto the wise in their own eyes, and prudent in their own sight. Woe unto the mighty to drink wine, and men of strength to mingle strong drink, who justify the wicked for reward, and take away the righteousness of the righteous from him. Therefore, as the fire devoureth the stubble, and the flame consumeth the chaff, their root shall be rottenness, and their blossoms shall go up as dust, because they have cast away the law of the Lord of hosts, and despised the word of the Holy One of Israel. Therefore is the anger of the Lord kindled against his people, and he hath stretched forth his hand against them, and hath smitten them, and the hills did tremble, and their carcasses were torn in the midst of the streets. For all this his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. And he will lift up an ensign to the nations from far, and will hiss unto them from the end of the earth. And behold, they shall come with speed swiftly. None shall be weary, nor stumble among them. None shall slumber nor sleep, neither shall the girdle of the loins be loosed, nor the latchet of their shoes be broken. Whose arrows shall be sharp, and all their bows bent, and their horses' hooves shall be counted like flint, and their wheels like a whirlwind, their roaring like a lion. They shall roar like young lions, yea, they shall roar, and lay hold of the prey, and shall carry away safe, and none shall deliver. And in that day they shall roar against them like the roaring of the sea. And if they look unto the land, behold, darkness and sorrow, and the light is darkened in the heavens thereof. Once again, check the description for a link to my reading of Isaiah. This has a lot of information in it. I would prefer you going back and watching that video to get the full analysis. But there are a couple of things. Remember, this is Isaiah comparing Israel to a vineyard. So later on we'll read in Jacob the allegory of the olive tree. It's the same basic concept. Now, was Isaiah the first to make this comparison? I don't know. I know Jacob is quoting Zenos, I believe. Did Zenos predate Isaiah, and Isaiah is also taking the idea from Zenos? I don't know. I will discuss that a little bit when we read Jacob chapter 5. But this shows us this analogy, this allegory, has been part of Israelite doctrine for a while. Now, of course, we have this, call evil good and good evil, and that's all going on. And I'd like the put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. So, they're calling evil good and good evil. We've seen that people, when you call out sin, when you call people to repentance, they tell you you're being judgmental and you're a bigot, you're whatever, and they praise those who are living in wickedness. So that's fairly standard stuff. But the bitter and sweet, this makes me think of the gospel, where there are those who are seeking to draw people away from the church. And what do they have to replace it with? Most of the time, these people are very angry, very bitter. They just don't seem to have any happiness. At least the ones I've interacted with. Those who are actively seeking to destroy other people's faith and to draw people out of the church. Those people, in my experience, they're not happy people. They are bitter and angry. They have substituted the sweetness of the gospel with the bitterness of resentment. I leave that here. We'll pick this up in the next chapter in the next video. See you there.